Before I begin, I want you to think of a good memory that you have on social media. Then I want you to think of how social media makes you feel. Was it any difficult to think of a good memory on social media? Because I know that it was for me. This may be because social media contributes to the feelings of inadequacy in different parts of our lives. More specifically, psychologically, by setting unrealistic standards and the mass consumption of social media that we consume every day. I'm sure that you have some sort of social media account, as it has become increasingly popular in the recent years, and I will show a statistic of that here. As part of a generation born into many technology advancements, I feel as though I have had sufficient amount of experience in this topic. So how specifically does it affect us psychologically? The psychological effects of social media may show up in different ways, as it triggers a different combination of reactions. According to an article called Social Cognitive and Affective Neuroscience, the particular factor of receiving and giving likes shows up as a social reward. So when we receive these, our brain releases dopamine receptors. And I will actually insert a clip of a small explanation here.
Because social media provides immediate rewards with very little effort required, your brain begins to rewire itself, making you desire these stimulations, and you begin to crave more of this neurological excitement after each interaction.
So in contrast, when we don't receive these, and when this action is not reciprocated, we may feel as though something is missing, and we may feel left out. Social media is also known to affect the brain's decision-making and emotional processing functions. So what we see on our phones causes a emotional reaction to us, and that in turn affects what we decide to do in other aspects of our lives, where we have to make decisions. And the thing about this is we have little to no control on what we really see on our phones and on the media. It is really just as easy as picking up your phone and scrolling through a social media platform. So next I will be describing the way social media establishes feelings of inadequacy through unrealistic standards created by social media. In 1954, Leon Festinger explained the social media comparison theory, which basically explains how people see a sort of confirmation on their progress by comparing themselves to others. So this is usually done to somebody that you feel is inferior to you, and many other aspects and factors may contribute to this action. For example, Instagram does have a feature called the highlights, which you can highlight your favorite memories or videos and pictures that you post. So this can contribute to this effect of social media. The study, The Effect of Experimental Presentation of Thin Media Images on Body Satisfaction, shows how common the disturbance of body image is today. The study confirms the increase in globalization of the ideal body type, which in general highlights thinness and youth. So the increase of this body image has also shown an increase in body dissatisfaction between men and women. This portrayed standard has convinced many people that it is an achievement or a goal to look this certain way. Lastly, I'll be speaking to you on the mass consumption of social media, and the effect that it has on our brains and how it makes us feel like there is something missing in our lives. In 2014, Australian researchers conducted 3 studies which resulted in a negative yet very simple outcome. So one of the studies, basically, there was a person that was scrolling through Facebook looking at media, and the other person was just browsing on Google. So at the end, the person that was scrolling through Facebook reported a decrease in mood, so a worse mood than the person who just simply browsed. So this kind of gives us an insight of how the media that we see affects our mood. So today in general, I explain how social media contributes to the feelings of inadequacy through the effects that it has on our lives. It influences our brain's reactions, the way we see ourselves and our expectations, and how we react to different things that we see on social media. All of the main points I described have a large fault at bringing us the feelings of scarcity in our life. The good news is that you can learn to rewire your brain and reprogram your mind and control the way that technology affects and influences your feelings. You can also learn more about how to have a healthy relationship with social media at mindwise.org. Thank you for listening to this.